Hello, everyone. For today's video, we will look at how we can allow uploading of files and images within your PVA chatbot. This is very useful for B2C kind of scenarios where you might want your end users to upload ID documents for validation and pre-populating some of the PII information on the forms that you might have designed within your chatbot. This is also useful in use cases where you might want to OCR the documents and use the data from the documents within your chatbot. For this demo, please note that as of today, PVA does not support file uploading natively, which might change down the line. But for today's demo, we will be using a custom Canvas solution that's available on PVA GitHub solutions page. I'll put the link to that GitHub page in the description below. Also for this demo, since we are working with custom Canvas, having basic understanding of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Azure services would be helpful to deploy this solution. So let's get started. So we'll start by creating a demo chatbot. In my case, I've already created one. Once we create the chatbot, there are three things that we want to note down. So the first thing, by going to settings and bot details, click on advanced, and we want to copy the tenant ID, and we want to copy bot app ID. Once you copy these two things, the next piece of information that we would be using in next steps is going to channels and mobile app. We want to capture the direct line token endpoint. So these are the three things we would need in order to configure this solution. So please copy these three things on a separate notepad file for future reference. So once you have the chatbot created, the next step is to log into your Azure portal. You would need access to Azure portal to create a storage account that would be used for storing all the files that are uploaded by the user. So in my example here, I already have a storage account. And within this storage account, you will create a container. So by clicking on containers, I have created a container called user upload, where all the files would be stored. So once you have created the container, the next configuration here is going to be the resource sharing or codes sharing. So here we have to create this row, and I'll put this information in the description. The reason we have to configure code setting is because we want our custom Canvas solution to talk to this Azure storage account. So what we are doing here is basically allowing this origin, because we would be running this solution locally on my machine. Select all the methods that are here, and then we'll be adding these headers here. So I'll put this information for your reference in the description. You could just copy paste it here to complete the configuration. The next part on the storage account is we want to note down the keys for the storage account. So you can click on access keys and then copy one of the keys that is associated with this particular storage account. So we need the key, and we need the name of the storage account, which is right here. So once you have copied this information on the notepad, the next step will be downloading the PVA canvas solution by going to GitHub page. So now I will navigate to the GitHub page where we have uploaded multiple custom solutions that you can use to configure PVA. So for today's demo, the solution that we would be using is called BuildYourOwnCanvasSamples. So if you click on this, you can see there are 3 solutions, and we are going to be leveraging the second one, location and file uploading. So please clone this solution to your local machine so that we can start doing the configuration. So let me show you what this solution looks like. So here I have all the solutions, but the one we need is location and file uploading. This should have one folder called web. And within this web, you'll see these 3 folders and some other configuration files. So now we will start the configuration of this custom canvas solution by first creating an environment file that will have all the information that we copied from previous steps. So just to show you an example here, so you can open the notepad, and we need 4 things here. So we need the Azure storage account name. We need the Azure account key, storage account key that we copied from Azure portal. And then we need the bot ID and the bot tenant ID. So you can put this information on a notepad file and save it as .env within this directory here. So once you have the environment file created, the next step is to go to source code directory and open the generate direct line token file in VS Code or any code editor that you might want to use. So once you have it open, we will be replacing the direct line token with the URL that we copied for your chatbot. So we are using your direct line token here. This is the URL that we had copied when we created the chatbot, and you just put it here and click on File, Save. So once you have configured this file, the next step is to configure the Index.HTML file, which is also in this directory. So by going to public folder, you'll see the Index.HTML file. Open this file in VS Code editor or any code editor to start doing the configuration. So for this file, if you are working in Visual Editor, you might want to look at line 200. So you can see here what this code does is once you have the direct line connection established, it will send a message as soon as user uploads the file. So for today's demo, what I have done is instead of sending a message to the bot, which you can see here, I have commented out this code, and instead of message, I want to send an event to the chatbot. So I'll put this code in the description for your reference, but all I'm doing is I have commented out the default code, which sends a message over direct line to your chatbot, and replacing this function by using an event instead of message. So once I have done this step, I'm going to save this file, and then we'll go back to our chatbot to configure the topic for this use case. Now, within your chatbot, what we'll do is we'll create a new topic. So I've created this topic called file uploaded. And the trigger for this topic would be event received, since we would be sending event from the custom canvas to the PVA chatbot. So in this case, I have event received as my trigger, and the trigger name is PDtestEvent, which matches the event name that we had on that Index.HTML file. So once you configure the trigger, the next step here is we have set n variable, which will capture the file URL that's coming from the custom canvas after the user has uploaded the file that's stored in that Azure storage account that we set up. So I have a variable called file URL that's storing the URL of the file that's being returned from the custom canvas. And next, you don't need this variable. The next step is to configure a Power Automate flow where you can now use that URL to download the file and take action on those files as needed. So in my case, just to show you, I have this flow created. So if you look at my flow, I'm passing the URL to the Power Automate flow. Then I create a sys URI, which is nothing but a public URL for the file that's uploaded to the Azure storage. Using that public URL, I download the file within Power Automate, and then I run OCR to capture the information from the document. So I capture the information from document. I use Azure OpenAI to extract information from the document and then pass it back to the PVA chatbot. So in this case, I am returning the URL, the public URL, so that I can show it within the chatbot. And then I'm also passing the file details that are needed for my use case. So in my use case, I'm working with ID documents. So I'm capturing the first name and last name from the document or from the ID document that was uploaded by the user. So once you have these two things, the public URL and the image details that you need from the document, I create a message where I use the public URL to show the document within the chat canvas, and then use the data that was extracted from the ID documents in a message node. Once you have extracted the information you need, you can redirect to the topic that is needed for your particular use case. So once you have this topic configured, the next step is going to be just starting the custom canvas on your local machine so that you can start testing to make sure everything is working correctly. Next, to start the server on your machine, you want to navigate to the folder where all our files are. So This is the web folder. You want to navigate to this folder using VS Code editor, and then just type npm start. So this will start the server so that you can start testing your custom canvas. So once you have your server started, you can go to localhost 5000, that's the port number, and you should see a custom chatbot canvas here. So here you can see I have a canvas which allows me to upload a file by clicking here. For testing, I will be uploading a sample license document, which looks like this. The name here is Heidi Sample. The Heidi is the first name, Sample is the last name. And this is the information I will be extracting from this license document. So let me upload this file. And once I upload this file, it is going to invoke the topic that we just created. And then using the Power Automate flow, it shows me the license document that I just uploaded. And then I'm using the first name, last name, and the state information to show a response back within the chatbot. So in my use case, I'm just using the first name, last name, and the state based on the driver's license that was uploaded, but you can pretty much extract any information from the document using OCR. So with this, you can then deploy this custom canvas on any channel that you would like your chatbot to be deployed. You could upload this using Azure App Service and just use iframe to embed it within your existing website, or if you have a portal where you want to deploy this chatbot. So that's it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and thanks for watching.